Kevin Pham is the men's basketball head coach for UC Merced. Just a quick bio. He started out at UC Merced as the women's basketball head coach, the first head coach ever for that program. So building it from the ground up, and in 3 short years, he helped coach that team to its first team championship by winning the CalPAC conference tournament and earning a bid to the NAIA national tournament. So congratulations. And then he did such a great job on the women's side that the men's basketball team at UC Merced asked him to be the head coach. So he's entering his 5th season there. He's helped the team, be ranked nationally in the top 10 in scoring defense for the past 2 seasons. He set a program record in wins, and also has coached the team to its first CalPAC conference championship game. And then throughout his career, he's helped many of his players earn all types of conference honors. We're really excited to have him, have Coach Pham talk to us about man defense and pressing today. So take it away, Coach Pham.
Thanks, Helen, for that introduction. I didn't think it would be that long, but I appreciate that. First of all, I want to say thanks for having me. This has been a great platform, I think, for all of us. I think I started to enter the game, try to get into the coaching industry. I thought I was the only Asian around, to be honest with you. I mean, everywhere I looked, I see people different than me. And it was definitely a process and a long journey to get to this point. But I think Steve and Mike have done a tremendous job setting this whole platform up and allowing us to share our thoughts, our ideas, our journey. So thank you, Steve, and thank you, Mike, for having me today. Before I start, though, I see Christian Iwanaga here. You guys probably don't even know, but in 2003 and 2004, I was one of the team managers on the women's basketball team at Cal. And Christian Iwanaga, I think she currently holds the Pac-12, right? Pac-12 free throw percentage record of all time. And I was actually rebounding for Christian in 2003, I think, a long time ago. And she was getting bucked in, and I was just a team manager at the time. I had no idea I was going to be a women's basketball coach. That's for sure. But she's on the call right now. So
record.
What's that?
It's like you guys share a record, huh? It's
yeah,
like
well,
you guys
she's
share
better
the record.
she's better than me for sure. She's been at Santa Clara for quite some time, and she's going to be a great head coach one day. But I saw her on that call. I thought a little shout out there because we go way back. Okay, so I asked Steve what do you want me to talk about, and usually when I'm on this call, I hear people talk about the journey, and I asked Steve, do you want me to talk about my journey? So he said no, he wants me to talk about X's and O's. So I'm a little kind of offended by that, but I'm just kidding. But today we're going to talk about our pack line defense. I was actually a women's coach first, and when I coached at UC Merced, I was very aggressive. We play aggressive man-to-man defense. We're all up the line on line. We denied ball reversal. We doubled the post. We pressed 94 feet, and then we did a lot of things that pushed the pace. And obviously that helped us out. It made us help us win for the CalPAC championship. And then this team was struggling at the time. I think there were 2-52 in the last 2 years combined prior to my movement over to the men's side. But once I got the opportunity to switch over, it was a pretty good opportunity for myself because I like building things from the ground up. And when I took over the men's team, I thought about, okay, so I need to figure out how can we compete with elite teams? What can we do defensively to stay in the game? Obviously, the way I was coaching our women's team, if I would try to implement that on the men's side, I don't think it would have worked. We didn't have the athletes. We didn't have the horses. And we just had a lot of guys who loved basketball at the time. And so it was at around that time, I think Butler in 2010, I think they played against Duke in the national championship game. And I remember watching Butler at the time playing against Duke. And these guys, they had Matt Howard, Andrew Smith, Ronald Nored, and all those guys. Probably names you never heard of. They're dogs, and they're in that pack line behind the line, and they're defending like no other. I know Duke had Mike Dunleavy, John Shire, Nolan Smith. So after watching that game, I saw how Butler defended, and I just completely fell in love. And if I can get my guys to immerse in that system, we will have a chance to compete with any teams that we play against. So the question you got to ask is, can this defense actually help you beat the best team in your league? And so for us, we really believe so. You know, we play against Division I opponents a couple times a year during our non-conference schedule. Last year, we played against Cal State Bakersfield. We held them to 10 points after the first 12 minutes of the first half. And obviously, we ended up losing by 12. I felt like we had a chance to actually be in the ball game. And then we played against UC Riverside, I think, in the same year when Mike was assistant coach. I think Mike was. I think that was his first year as assistant coach. And we were down 50 with about 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the second half. So we were 2 possessions away from actually doing something beyond our expectations. And then we played against Dominican. It was the NCAA Division II school. We held them to 3 points after the first 14 minutes. So it was 18-3 with about 6 minutes left in the first half. So we really believe in what we do in terms of how we defend. And today I'm going to share with you, I'm trying to steer away from the principles so much. I'm going to give you things that I think help us succeed on defense. I know Helen talked about us being nationally ranked defensively. Last year, we were in the top 5. We ranked 3rd in the country in points allowed per game in all of NAIA, which is about 234 schools. And this year, we finished 2nd behind Holy Cross in points allowed per game. So we definitely have some sort of consistency going on defensively on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going to share with you things that I think will work, not necessarily what the pack line, because I'm sure you guys all have an idea what pack line defense is. But our defense is based on a lot of concepts and a lot of details. That's it. It's concepts and details. It's very simple, basic, and we focus on execution. Right? Our philosophy is pretty simple. We pack everything in. We contest shots. We make it difficult for you to score inside the paint. And we try to keep the ball out of the paint as much as possible. So whether it's a post feed, dribble penetration, or an offensive rebound, we make it extremely difficult for you to get the ball in the paint. And we allow perimeter reversals. We don't care about those things. What we care about is every shot that is taken within the possession is always contested. That's what we care about. And we give up about roughly 2 to 3 uncontested shots per game. And when we actually do the analytics and track it down, we really get our hands up and contest shots all the time. And we believe in percentages. We believe in analytics. And so those are some of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on. So I'm gonna go ahead here and feel free to ask questions in between. I want to make this as interactive as possible. And again, our system is not perfect. I think there's a lot of flaws to it, to be honest with you, but we try to cater to our players' abilities. And sometimes we kind of modify and tweak things around based on what our players can do, not necessarily what the pack line is all about. Okay. Let's see here. Let me share my screen here. So I'm not a tech guy. Can you guys see this or no? Not yet. Hold on. Let's see. Can you guys all see that? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So before we get into positioning, I really want to focus on 4 things here. We're gonna focus on perimeter defense, number 1. We're gonna focus on post defense, how we defend off-ball screens, how we defend ball screens, and then after we focus on those 4 things, we're gonna move into transition defense, which I think is the pinnacle of our foundation defensively. Okay. So 3 details that are very important in our system is number 1 is contesting shots. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this film here. Every possession on defense, anytime we're in a position to contest shots, we teach our guys to get their inside hand up. And really, when we talk about being fundamentally sound, we try to get our guys to just fall in love with getting your hands up. So whether it's the inside hand, the outside, it really doesn't matter to us, but we teach them a certain way. And the idea is if the shot goes up, we always contest. And we got to work on timing the jump. We teach our guys to jump straight up and then get that inside hand up, whether it's on the left wing or right wing. Okay, in this case, right here, this is one of our guards who just came off a little pin screen. And we believe in analytics. The more time you get your hands up, the less likely they'll make the shot. Okay, again, we really drill on getting your hands straight up and contesting all shots at all times. Okay. See here, even our big guys, okay, we get our hands up and contest all shots. Here we just came off a little pin down here. Penetration, hands up, okay, and then contest shots. Here we are out of transition. Okay, the ball gets skipped. Okay, sometimes we're in an overheld position. In this case, we work on timing our jump and then make sure we get our hands up all the time. Okay, and then we also teach our guys a way to contest layups. Okay, all of our guys, especially our bigs, anytime there's penetration and if our defense breaks down and they slide over to help, we teach our guys to wall up and get 2 hands straight up and not swing down. Okay, so here's the situation. Let me back it up a little bit here. Okay. Let's see here. I think we might have a shot here. Here's a wall up. Okay, here's our center from last year, Ronnie Kozak. We get 2 hands straight up, hands above the ear, both hands not bent, and then we contest the shot. And then we got to get back into play. Okay. Another staple in our defensive scheme, we call face blockout. Okay, it's a little different than you know, when the shot goes up, you kind of turn around and kind of box your guys out. We have 2 terms that we use. You're either a hit and go guy or a hit and seal guy. A hit and go guy is if you're athletic, you can go get the basketball. If you're unathletic, we want you to be able to seal your man. But that's a traditional way of doing things. Now we teach our guys what we call face blockout. So when that shot goes up, we want everybody to get their eyes on their man. We believe that if everybody boxed out their man, then in theory that ball would hit the deck, and then we would have inside position to pursue the basketball. So in this case, that shot went up. You see Jonah's eyes on his man. Ryan's peeking over here. Mason Westlake is peeking here, and then Alfred Batmani, our center, is peeking at his man. Okay, this is what we call face blockout, and then we make contact. Especially if you're on the perimeter, if they run in, that's when we make the contact. And we usually do what we call front pivot to seal off the man. But in this case, if he stays on our perimeter, we're just going to kind of peek and make sure that he doesn't run in and get the basketball. So we both all block out. He peeked, and the shot goes up, and then we have inside position. So this is what we drill every single day. When that shot goes up, we make sure that we find our man and look at him. We call rebounding with your eyes. Okay, again, face block out. Okay, shot goes up. Again, contest it every single time. Okay, here's Mason Westlake, not even worrying about the ball. Alfred Batmani, our center, not even worrying about the ball. We're making this eye contact right here. Okay, same thing. Andrew Williams making the eye contact. That ball goes up. Okay, if they run in, we use our arm bar and we use what we call front pivot to seal them off. Okay, and then again, in theory, okay, if everybody does their job, okay, then we will secure the basketball. The only bad part about this clip is our guy that contests a shot kind of fades away. But in reality, what we want him to do is kind of box him out here too, so that the shooter doesn't run in. Same situation here. Okay, great job on the ball. Contest shot. Okay, every shot is contested. Again, look at their eyes. Their eyes, their vision, okay, is making sure that their man does not run into the paint. Okay, again, look at his eyes on his man. Okay, look at Ronnie. He's not even thinking about rebounding the basketball. Okay, we're thinking about, okay, making sure that as my role on the defensive end, when that shot goes up and I'm not contesting that shot, is to make sure my man does not get the basketball. Okay, block out, make that contact there, and then we have inside position. Okay, and then we get the basketball. Let me go. All right. Another detail thing that's important in our system, the and our position is always our help, which I'll talk about a little later. But stunting is very important. Stunting is the idea of faking one way to sell as if you're coming after somebody, and then recover your man, anticipating the next play. Okay. So we use stunting a lot because of our position on defense. We overhelp in a lot of situations. Right now, we can just ignore the ball screen defense, which is going to work. Okay. Here's a closeout. Okay. Over here, right? And now close out. Makes us this beautiful stunt there, right there. This is something that we focus on a day-to-day basis right here. Okay. This allows us to slow the shooter down and not let him catch in rhythm. And think that there's gonna be a one more here. Okay. And they allow Ryan Haywood to again contest shot every single time. All right. And then we go for the box out. Okay. All right. Here you go. 17. Let's see here. Screen. Okay, right there. Okay. So here we are, and I'll speak more on this in this situation. Okay, we just came off a ball screen here, and our opposite big was getting ready to X out, and the ball got reversed. Our top guard here, closest to the ball, stunt the ball. Okay. Again, let me work out this app one more time. Okay, stunting. All right. Okay, here. Okay. Here's Dominican. Our man that was guarding the post player is in a position to X out if he hits the roller on the pop here. Our top guard is getting ready to anticipate the reverse pass, and if that pass does occur, then he's going to stunt, okay, and make it look like as if he's coming after the ball and hopefully forcing that pass to the next person and be able to recover. In that case, we believe that stunt right there allows Aaron just a split second to recover and then contest the shot. Okay, and then we box out. Okay. So any questions so far on the three little details that I cover? I think it's important that I cover those things so that as a whole get an idea how we. Any questions on so far?
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
You know, I've been in many discussions about blocking out, whether to block out, whether to go get, and get in trouble sometimes on what I want to do and flip flopping. How did you come about, getting guys to block out and really emphasizing that you want them to face block out or however you want them to do it?
Yeah, that's a great question, Devin. Is it Devin, right? Am I right? Yes, Devin. I think the biggest thing is accountability, and we make sure our guys are held accountable for every missed block out in practice. When it comes to technique, my personal opinion, the game has evolved so much that if you tell a guy to hold your seal, push him out, it's just too fast. Guys are so much more athletic. I think in the women's game, you could probably get a technique a little more, and I both sides. But in the men's game, it's so fast that guy can just jump over you. And so for us, we want to make sure that our guys, when that goes up, we find our man and we look at him in the eyes and we kind of make contact if they run in. And our goal is to push them out. And then at that point, we have a good position inside and we pursue the basketball next. But I think accountability is the most important thing when it comes to anything that you do, whether it's rebounding, whether it's jumping to the ball, whether it's closing out. You got to hold those guys accountable, and you got to make them believe that this is who we are. Our guys, we get total buy-in our upperclassmen, which can kind of translate to our upperclassmen. But the biggest things, in my personal opinion, is holding guys accountable for how you want them to defend. Any other questions?
Yeah. Steve has a question. Steve, go ahead.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Kevin, thanks again for doing this. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Question about your stunting. Do you guys work on stunting? I guess I don't know if it's personnel or not, but long stunts and short stunts. So at the recoveries, so your recoveries shorter, or y'all just, it doesn't matter?
So our closeouts, and that's a great question. Our closeouts is pretty much catered based on our guys' abilities. So when we work on closeouts, we have 3 different ways of closing outs. It also depends on who we're guarding as well. But some guys can recover a lot faster. Some guys are a little more athletic, so the stunt may be longer and shorter. So we give the guy the leeway. The most important thing is the effort, right? The effort to make that happen. And I think defense effort transcends all, right? It's all, at the end of the day, you can draw the best stunt in the world, but if your guys don't want to put the time, the effort into making that decision to slow down the shot or contest a shot, it doesn't matter, right? So yes, we allow certain guys with certain abilities to stunt harder and maybe stunt shorter. But at the end of the day, I think it's the effort. It's instilling that effort into the mindset of that. This is what we have to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, I also have a question.
Sure.
So in regards to like stunting versus for stunting, what type of like verbiage are like talking communication are your players using versus like on that last one, it could have seemed like, yeah, he could have he stunted, but like also he could have just like switched on because maybe your guy's late, his teammates late. So how do they know? Like what's the?
That's a great question. So in our defense, a lot of it is communication and trust, right? We drill it so much that guys kind of understand, kind of can predict where they're going to go. But we do a lot of scramble drills where 3 versus 4, right? Where guys are constantly communicating. I got ball. And then I say, I got next, meaning the next pass. Like we always work on the next pass as well. So I think communication and trusting that guys will be at certain spots. Our defense will break down if we don't have that type of level of communication. So when we stunt, it's just a technique that we use to make sure to not actually leave our man, but to make sure to slow the ball down so we can have our guys get enough time to recover. So a lot of it is just communication and putting them in different type of scramble drills and making them communicate.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right, perfect. So now I'm gonna go ahead and kind of share with you guys how we defend on the perimeter. Our thought process, again, is pretty simple. We want to crowd the court as much as possible. Let me get you back on the share screen here. So our mentality, can you guys see that? Yep, there we go. All right, so our mentality on the perimeter is called, we use crowd the court, okay? So we want to shrink gaps, take away penetration, keep the ball in the paint. And in order to do that, we get in a position where we call open stance. Okay, I know a lot of people teach closed stance, but for us, it works better when we're in a closed position so that we keep everything in front. We don't get beat back door. We use what they call flat triangle. I'm sure you guys heard that before. But the idea is here's the ball line, right? Here's a line of the ball, and then you're one big step off the line. But we keep our guys in an open position rather than closed. It's just preference. I don't think one way is better than the other. But I want our guys to understand that, hey, you always have to see the ball. You always have to see 2, your man and the ball. If at no point you see 2, you're probably in a bad position, all right? And I think the only time where we don't see 2 is we're in a screening situation where I'm guarding a cutter or I get backdoor and then I have to snap my head and kick my leg out trying to find a bounce pass. But in general, we're always in a open position, okay? Our eyes are on the ball and we have peripheral vision with our man, okay? On the ball pressure, it really depends on who we're guarding. This kid right here is Mitchell Fink. He plays for Oregon Tech. He's a first-team All-American. So we usually give guys like that a little more buffer. And it all depends on what we're capable of. If we have guys that are quick, we also have guys that are, man, I can run faster than them sometimes. But in those situations, we kind of allow a little more space in between the ball and the man. So when I'm guarding the basketball, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about pressure if I can. Okay, so we really want our guys to get one hand into the shot pocket every single time. We talked about guarding your yard 3 feet to the right, 3 feet to the left, and keeping the ball in front. If we can't guard the basketball, we're probably I think in any defense, it probably won't work. But again, trust and communication. Cole Tyra, he was our senior guard last year. He understands that the guys behind him are always in a help position. If he gets beat, he knows for sure that somebody's behind him to help. Okay, so position off the ball, very simple. You're in an open stance, help position at all times. Scene 2. Okay. So your open position, right? Okay. We want to shrink the court. Okay, crowd the court so that there's no space for him to drive. If he shoots it, we always contest. And again, okay, try to have vision here. Make sure that the guys don't run in for blockouts. Okay, look at Andrew Williams. His eyes is on his man. He is not worrying about rebounding the basketball. Okay, because the ball, in theory, if everybody does their job to the best of their ability, that ball would be inside, and we will have inside position unless it goes long. Okay. Here we are again. We talk about being in gaps, shrinking the floor. Here's the gap between the ball and the man. Okay, so that distance between Matt and Kyle is what we call gap. And then he always wants to be in a position of help. Okay, we talked about making one move, not two. So when you're in this position, you're thinking, okay, I'm showing help, but I'm not committing to that help. Okay, I want the driver to think that I'm helping, but I'm really anticipating this pass out. If he drives into me, then I can use what we call ball attack. This is a ball attack right there. That strip, right, that hand in the pocket, we would call ball attack, and we drill that in our on-ball drills. Okay, so being in gaps. Again, this is out of transition here. Okay, again, here's a drive. Okay, we teach our guys not to open their hips, but in this case, Mason Westlake opened his hips. We have Rafael Dor in a position of help, showing that he's helping, but really his mindset is, I'm anticipating this pass out, okay? And then if he picks up the dribble, then we can anticipate and then possibly get a deflection or a steal, okay? Again, being in a position of help in gaps, okay? We want to make this gap as small as possible, so the idea is get closer to the ball than closer than to your man. In this case, Andrew Williams is closest to the ball. He's in the position to help. And then if the ball ever passes out, we anticipate and then always contest the shot. Okay. Same situation, okay? Being in gaps, okay? Ball attack there. Don't get split because you're in a position to help, okay? In this case, we think Mike could have been in a better position, all right? We don't like guys coming into this area like that and then try to make two moves. We teach our guys to make one move. So typically he would be closer to the basketball. As he drives, his move is only out. It's hard to go in and out. Okay, we want to be able to just close out rather than having to help and close out. So in this situation, we got a little lucky here. Okay, almost pretty much got split there, but the idea is we want to pack the paint and make it difficult for you to get in. Okay, I think here's a whole series here, a whole type of possession. Okay. Again, here's Cole in a position of help. He shows it, and then he kind of recovers back to his man. Okay. Again, Andrew we're behind that 3-point line. We don't really use a pack line. We say we just get behind the three. Right. We're in a position of help. Okay. Close the drive. Our philosophy is don't let the ball get to the paint on a penetration and force the kick out. Again, Cole's in the position to help. As you can see, we were trying to clog the paint here so that so nobody can have any driving real estate. Okay, rotate our big over, and we've got a wall up there, and then we get finished with D board. Okay, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is how we close out.
Kevin, sorry, can I interrupt real quick? We have a question.
Sure.
From David Choi. He's asking for defending back doors. Do y'all remain open stance, or do y'all turn your head to deny a backdoor pass?
We are always in an open stance, and the only time the way we position ourselves, we allow the offensive player to be ahead of us. So we're in what we call flat triangle, right? Closer to the ball, but see the ball and man at all times. If he does indeed backdoor, what we teach is we snap our head and then we kind of throw our arms and legs out, trying to find the bounce pass or a pass over the top. But the most important thing is teams rarely backdoor us because we give so much space. We don't care about ball reversal. I mean, our defense is predicated on grinding the possession out. Right? The longer we can keep the ball outside the paint and pass the ball around the perimeter, we're playing just numbers here. Right? I mean, we talk about in practice, the shot clock is our best friend. Right? And the longer we keep the possession going, the more confidence we get in our ability to contest shots and rebound the basketball. So in terms of backdoor, what we teach, if they do go backdoor and try to make a play out of that, we'll snap our head and then kind of find an angle to the ball and try to find the bounce pass. But teams usually don't try to backdoor us as much. I think because we give so much space up front.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so closeouts. Okay, this is a little different. Okay, in the past we teach a lot of 2 hands up and then run, chop, chop, and then get our butt down, get both hands up. But over the years, we have modified how we close out to the ball. Our most important concept is if we're guarding a shooter, we must arrive on the catch. And we must get one hand in the shot pocket. Okay, so on every closeout, we try to get one hand up, one hand down. We think shot, but really we're trying to prepare for the drive. That's what we think. That's the mindset of every closeout is we think shot, but we're really preparing for the drive. Okay, but the idea is if we're guarding a shooter, like or coming off screens, we must arrive on a catch and make sure that we get our hands in that shot pocket. So here's the situation here. Right there, okay. It's a single door and shot pocket. I think I kind of screwed up on this clip here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see here. Come up here, right? 10 is the shooter. Okay, so here's one of our quicker guards. You kind of got him on a little chase on the catch. We want to make sure that that hand is in that shot pocket. Okay, here's another shooter out to the left. Okay, on the catch, we want to make sure that that hand is in that shot pocket to disturb the shot. And if he does shoot it, again, we work on timing the shot and trying to contest it every single time. So in the past, what we try to teach our guys, what we try to get our guys to do is to, on every catch, we put both hands up. But over the years, I feel like when we kind of sit back and watch film and track down how many times we actually get beat off the dribble with 2 hands up versus 1 hand up. Every time we try to get 2 hands up, we tend to get beat on a straight line drive more often than we do this. So we like we like this idea of getting that hand in shot pocket, arriving on the catch. Our thinking is shooters can't shoot it where they catch it. That's the way we think. Contest shot. All right, here we are, I guess UCR, okay? So we talk about being in gaps. We talk about contesting shots. This defense is predicated on constantly repositioning yourself all the time. And the one way to do that is you gotta have vision, you gotta see ball man at all times, and you gotta be able to jump to the ball, okay? This concept of jumping to the ball is something that we drill. I know a lot of coaches talk about, oh, we do close out every single day. We do jump to the ball every single day. But for us, we literally do jump to the ball every single day. And we work on closeout every single day. And these may not be the best clips of game footage, but the concept is definitely there for sure. So here's Rafael Dor. That ball is passed. Jump to the ball, okay? That jump right there allow us to cut angles off, okay? Take cutting angles off. And also allow us to be in a better help position. Okay? We always want to be closer to the ball than we are closer to the man. Okay? Again, our defense is a lot of concepts and just details. Okay, Rafael Dor there. Okay, we're plugging the gaps, taking away penetrations. All right. Okay, see right here, Seth Cobb jumped to the ball. Right, we are crowding the court to make it extremely difficult for them to drive. And if they do drive, they always see 2 all the time. Good. All right, penetration, we rally to the ball, and then we anticipate ball attack. Okay. All right, let's move on to post defense here. Pretty simple. Keep this as simple as possible. We talk about making sure that that ball doesn't get into the paint, and we teach our guys, no matter where the situation is at, if they're in the painted area, in the post area, which is between the block and the first hash mark, we will always three-quarter side, top side, and then we'll always jump behind on the pass. Those are the two things that we teach our guys before the catch. Now on the catch, okay, we teach our guys to wall up. In this case right here, this post player is not a true threat, so we will go one-on-one in the post. Okay, we will call this, go one-on-one in the post. Okay, this is what we want. We want this guy to take the shot. So what we do is we pack it in and allow him to go one-on-one with our big, having the confidence that we can actually make him take a contested two and get inside position and secure the rebound. If we're playing a better post player, okay, here's a post player from University of Antelope Valley. They went to the NAIA Sweet 16 this past year. They usually get pretty good Division I bounce backs. I forgot where this kid played, but he was a Division I kid, and so we knew that we had our hands full in this game. So every time he caught the ball, we say dig in the post. Okay, and what that means is we only dig off the bounce. So when the ball gets to the post, we crowd the court. You see how Cinco moved over? We try to make these driving lanes smaller. And then once he dribbles the ball and he turns away from us, that's when we attack the ball here, just like he did there. Okay? And try to force a difficult shot there. Okay? Digging in the post. Okay? Again, shrink the court. Okay? Get to the ball, closer to the ball than your man. If he dribbles it, we attack the ball. That's our cue. Anytime a post player put the ball on the floor, we are attacking the ball. Very few post players can put the ball on the floor and make a nice pass out for a shot, especially in our league. So this really helps out a lot when we play against not very good post players. Okay, here we play against UCR. They have a 7-footer here, Lucky Mike. Okay. Here we are with the blast cut. Let me go back to this for a second. There's a little detail here. All right. So on the pass to the post from the wing, we usually have our guards jump to the ball and having his butt to the baseline. That way we take away anything towards the baseline. Philosophically, we say no baseline drives, and the reason why is because everything's predicated on how we defend the post. Because we three-quarter top side every single time, we never guard low. If we don't take the baseline away, then that pass to the post will be a lot easier. And if they do drive baseline, we can't rotate our big out to help. So that's one reason why we say take the baseline away. All right, and here's a cut inside the paint, and then once the big guy dribbles, we have the freedom to attack the ball. Okay, oftentimes. We do go into what we call red. Red, it means trap the post. If we feel like we're playing against a dominant post player and we can't stop him one-on-one, or we can't dig on him as much, we go into what we call red. Red means our four-man is our red guy, and he's the only guy that is allowed to trap the post. And that way we make it clear cut. Everyone understands who's trapping the post. So when we're in red, here's Derek. He's our four-man. Okay, and then. Here's Henry Galanado. He's one of the dominant post players in our league. He averaged about 16 and 12 last year. So when he gets the ball, it's pretty much money. We have a hard time stopping him. He's a smart guy, smart passer out of the post. And so when we go red, we say our post player, make sure you cover the baseline, and then our trapper would come over top and take top side and form a 90-degree angle here, take away any splits here. Once the ball is passed out of the trap, we just scramble like we do in our scramble drill, and then we contest shot. And then the guy that's in the trap will always run across the lane to take the next play, the next man that's open. Again, here we are in red. Okay. Again, three-quarter top side, the ball gets in, jump behind. Okay. And we know that we're in red. So here he comes. Typically, Cinco right here on ball side should have denied the pass out here, the first pass out, especially on ball side. And when he does it, we call a choker. All right, here we are again, base out of bounds. We're in red. Okay, ball gets in. See how my man jumped behind. Where's my foreman? Right there he goes. Okay, we go double the post. Usually on the backside, we have a guy cover the rim, and we have the guy cover at the foul line. And the guy at the foul line would take the first pass opposite. Double the post. Yep, hard trap there. Got the ball out of the threat. Okay, now we're in a decent position here. Okay, we have confidence in our half-court defense. We get in, we box out, we get the rebound. Very good.
Hey,
Thank you,
Kev.
Kevin.
Sure.
Sorry, I was gonna say, Steve, go ahead.
Go
Yep.
ahead, Matt. You can go ahead, Matt.
I always go back and forth with this. So, like, when we double the post as well, if the guy faces up and like dribbles out to create space, do you stay with it, or are you trying to get back to your original man?
We usually get back to our original man.
Okay.
We tell our guys, once they take one or two dribbles away from the rim, we feel like we're in a good position to play our half-court man defense without having to rotate so much. I think if we stay in the trap, it'll force us to, when the ball comes out, it'll force us to rotate a lot more. But we tend to kind of slide away from the trap if he dribbles out to the sideline.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really based on how our guys feel in the trap. We don't have a hard rule that once he dribbles out, you have to leave right away. If we feel like there's an opportunity to force a turnover without fouling, then yes, we will probably stay in the trap. And so we like to give guys more freedom to think and play without having to say, these are all rules that we have to follow every single time, right? Because it all depends on how good passer the post player is. Does he have vision or not? If we take away this vision, then we might as well trap it harder and then allow our quick guards to anticipate the next play.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really, we don't have a rule, but more than likely we will recover out. Because our objective in red is not to really force a turnover, it's to make sure that post player doesn't shoot the basketball around the rim.
Got you.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So defending perimeter screens. This is pretty simple for us. We defend screens one way only. So if you guard a cutter, you are what we call a chaser. If you guard a screener, you are what we call a helper. And those two things does not change at all. Okay. The idea that we want to use in every screening situation is what we call 3 on the ball. Okay. So here we are in a screen situation. This is what we call a pin screen. Okay. In a perfect world, if Ryan Haywood knew that the screen was coming, he would get attached to Ronnie Russo, who's arguably the best player I've ever seen in the Cal-Pac conference in the NAIA. He was the Missouri Valley guard. He was a Division I guard in the Missouri Valley Conference, transferred out to California, and he's just literally dominated our league. We had to play him in the championship game this past season, and he's a one-man show. He's like Allen Iverson, to be honest with you. But again, Ryan Haywood, Defensive Player of the Year, the past 2 years in our league, we put him on him. So in this situation, in the screening situation, if we knew that he's coming off the screen, we want to get attached as quickly as possible, and his job is to chase. That's it. Your job is to chase. You have no pack line, no defensive responsibility other than to make sure that you arrive on the catch. He can't shoot it where he catch it, and then in a perfect world, we get our screener, the guy who's guarding the screener to get out to help. We call this jump and swipe, and then the on-ball defender, in this case, is Jonah. Jonah's guarding the what we call quarterback. The pass that leads to the catch off the screen, we call the quarterback pass. So Jonah in this situation is to do what? Jump to the ball. So in a perfect world, if we take a snapshot of this, you'll see 3 on the ball every single time in any screening situation. This is what we want every single time, so that he cannot catch and shoot it. Even if Ryan's late, because we're in this situation, he can't catch and shoot it. Okay, so that's the perfect world. But in reality, we may not get this every single time. Done. Contest, box out. Okay, good. All right. Again, like we said, the goal is to get 3 on the ball in every screening situation. Again, reality says it doesn't happen every single time. So what we really trying to preach a lot is what we call jump and swipe. Okay, here's Derek. He's guarding the screener. Okay, that ball comes. That hand right there to us makes the biggest difference. Okay, this helps our guy that's guarding the cutter on this catch here to disturb the shot. Then we get back to our man. Right there. Okay, we always exaggerate the jump and swipe. Just little details. And here's the stagger screen. Okay, chase off the stagger. Okay, we always chase. On the catch, here's our big guy, right? He has 2 eyes on the ball. And then on the catch, he gets his jump and swipe action. That little stunt right there, at his co-tire, he jumped to the ball. We get that 3 on the ball situation again. Okay. Here's another situation. Even our 4-man, they have to chase guys down. Okay. Here's the chase. Okay. On the catch, we get that jump and swipe by our bigs. And then we rotate over, we get a steal there. Let me go back to that. Full speed, chase, cutter, okay, slip. Okay. And let me talk about the slip real quick. So in any screening action here, when the screens occurs, we want the guy that's guarding the screener to already be in a help position. Okay. So here's Ronnie. He's in the help position. All right, that's his role, is to help to get 2 eyes on the ball. 2 eyes on the ball. If he looks this way, this would put Cole Tyra on an island to go 1-on-1. And if he's a good offensive player, if I see his eyes looking the other way, I'll probably take him to the baseline if I can. Right, so that's why it's very imperative that we get our guys who guard the screener to get 2 eyes on the ball. And then if you get 2 eyes on the ball, you can play the slip too. If he slips to the rim, his 2 eyes are on the ball, and then he can play that lob over the top if they do go backdoor. But in this case, they did not go backdoor. Again, here our 4-man chase, jump and swipe. Yep, and we anticipate the next play. Okay, I'm just let this go now. Okay, these are down screens and flare screens. Okay, there, that's the flare screen. We chase everything over the top there, and we help if we get beat. Okay, good stunt there, force a turnover. Here we are in stagger and an Iverson cut, and they also have a down screen too. Cal Maritime runs a lot of screening actions, so these clips are good to watch because it kind of shows you how we chase guys down on the screens. Yep, behind, 1-on-1 in the post. Okay, here's a back screen down. Okay, back screens is a little different here. All right. The idea is still the same. If I'm guarding a cutter, I'm chasing. If I'm guarding a screener, I'm helping position. Okay, let me go back to that. So a lot of teams in our league runs multiple screening actions at the same time. Sometimes you see cross screen, down screen, back screen, down screen. So our guys are fully equipped and prepared to guard those type of actions. So here's the situation. Okay, here's a back screen coming. The most important thing is that we are closer to the ball than we are to our man. The fact that we are closer to the ball than we are to a man, it changes the screening angle for the screener here. If Alfred was close to his man, that screen will occur a little higher and give him more real estate to cut to the rim. In this case, there's no more real estate to cut to the rim at all. And in any back screen situation, we always whip over the top, just like that. Mason communicated the back screen. He hears back screen. It's an automatic whip. We don't want to chase the screener in this case because we'll be on the low side and we'll be trailing the whole entire time. Okay, we don't want to trail here. Okay, so off the back screen, go over the top, and then we chase the next action. Right there, get him on the catch. He can't shoot it where he catch it. That's the goal. Okay, and then we get into our gap defense. And we just plugging away. That's it. Okay, here's a flare screen into an elevator. Okay, here's a flare. We go over the top. Good. And here's that chase right there. Contest the shot. All right, here's some cross screen, down screen action. Again, Cal Maritime is very well coached. They run a lot of screening actions. And again, we don't change anything here. We just know that if we're guarding a cutter, we're chasing. If we're guarding a screener, we're in a help position. And we always got to see two guys. No, we got to see, the ball and the man. Okay. All right. Ball screen defense. Offensively, we run tons of ball screens. Okay. That's all we do is we have a lot of quick guards that can come off the ball screen and make plays. So we try to give them the freedom to make decisions with the basketball. So defensively, we guard ball screens every day in practice. Okay. So here's a middle ball screen. We call this double tag. Double tag means if you got two guys on one side, we call this the pair side, okay? And then we call this single side. So off the pair side, we get what we call double tag if the ball screen occurs in the middle of the floor. So here's a ball screen middle of the floor. 3 ways we guard ball screens. We hard hedge it. We call that green. We get our big guys out. The goal is to stop the ball, take a charge, or change its path. And then we also go what we call yellow. If we feel like our bigs can't get out there fast enough, we'll drop coverage. But our guards, we have one thing you do. You always go over the top no matter what. Okay. So the double tag is the situation right here. Let me see here. Yeah, middle ball screen curves, guards go over top. We try to hard hedge this. We're in green. Okay, the double tag is those backside guys. If the ball moves away from you, you will get more closer to the middle of the floor. Anytime there's a ball screen, we talk about zoning up. Whether you're in strong side, backside, doesn't matter. Talk about zoning up. But if you're on the strong side, you're not going to give up this 3 right here, but you only show a position of help. Okay, these are 2 guys. This is called double tag. If it's a 1 guy on the side, we call single tag. Position to help, and then you get the position. Okay, here against UCR, this is a single tag, I believe. Okay, we get out there in the little horn set, ball screen. Put the gaps here. I think this is a flat ball screen here. Yep, it's a flat ball screen in the middle of the floor. Okay, we have 1 guy in the corner here, and then I think he ended up turning left here. Yep, we turn left, and this is a soft hedge by our big guy. If they miss the hard hedge, we yell what we call own it. Own it means just stay with the ball until your teammates say, I got it. And if he doesn't say, I got it, that means it's a switch. We're in black. All right, so here, Ryan fights through the screen, try to chase it down. Single is in a situation where we call single tag. Okay, try to get two hands in there and try to get better position right there. What we don't want to do is get stuck down here and get sealed. So Matt is in a position where what we call pinch. Okay, so when they drive and we're in this situation, we pinch the middle to force the ball back outside. So in the single tag, okay, all we worry about is closing out. And got to do a better job contesting, but that's the idea. Okay. Here we are in I think the same situation. Little kind of, not really a role replace action, but that's the idea is the same. Okay. A lot of teams trying to go high-low on us a lot. Okay. So we teach our guys to get their hands up and to play the high-low pass. Okay. Again, here's a role replace action, the UCR. Okay, screen, all right. Usually we want our guy to touch their man, okay? Again, these videos are not perfect. I didn't have enough time to kind of clip the perfect footage, but I just want to give you the idea of what we drill and what we try to teach our guys. Okay, we call that's an own it situation, okay? And here's Aaron Lofton, our opposite big. His guy getting ready to roll up. We're going to tag the big guy here. We're going to pinch inside, and then we're going to close out if it throw it back, just like that. And then we're going to try to do our best to contest. Okay, side pick and rolls. We're always greening side pick and rolls. So we're going to hard hedge every situation that we can when the ball is on the side. Okay, again, here's that tag that we talked about. Usually he's probably getting his left hand there. If that's a ball screen, everybody in the back is thinking about zoning up here. Okay, and we have 2 options. Either we can X out on the pass out to the big on the roll or on the pop, or we can do what we call stay. It's all about the big got to communicate to the opposite big. And usually sometimes we play with 4 guards. So really we say the bottom guy goes. We don't have a hard rule to say the opposite big has to go. It really depends on who's is in our rotation. If we go with 4 guards, we go with the bottom guy. So here's an X out, okay? And then the guy that's in the hard hedging situation, he always runs back to the middle floor with his hands up. Okay.
Hey, Coach. We got a question from Coach Dan Taylor. Do you want to ask your question, Coach Dan?
Sure. I'm a newbie, so Coach Steve invited me, and so I'm learning a lot. We play similar defensive style. Coach, do you recruit your athletes to, that have played in similar defenses or in the pack, or does it even matter? Like, do you just recruit the best athletes and then just see, kids that have great IQ that can just fit into your system well? Or are you, when you're in your recruiting, are you really kind of pinpointing guys that can really fit your specific defensive system?
Thanks for the question, Dan. When I first took over the men's team, we didn't have a lot of talent, right? We had a lot of guys who loved basketball, but really weren't recruited to play basketball at UC Merced. So we had to come up with a system, right? And we believe that this system can help us stay in games. And so now that you think about it, if we can go out and recruit more athletic kids, our system, our defense system would be a lot quicker. Guys can get to the ball a lot faster. Therefore, it will enhance our defense overall, right? So when we recruit, we just try to find guys that we don't have to worry about effort, because that's the biggest thing, right? If we have to worry about effort, that's a problem for us. And plus, we have to get guys that academically can get into our school, which is a little more challenging too sometimes. But we don't go out and find a guy that say, oh, he's a good pack line guy, or he's a good guy that can fit in our defensive system. It's more about, does he play hard? Can he guard, right? And then after all that, we just kind of hold them accountable for what we teach, for hold them accountable for things that we teach them. That makes sense? All right.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, so side pick and roll, we're always Xing out or staying with our man. Okay, here's side pick and roll. Okay, again, a lot of teams try to beat us with this high-low stuff. Okay, and I'll tell you how we cover that in a bit. Again, pick and roll defense, we're a little late here, so we end up what we call own it, right? You got to own it. When we own it, if they kick it out, our opposite big rotate out, we're in that X out situation again. Okay. Again, our goal is to keep everything in front. We don't care about applying tremendous pressure unless you can have that ability. And we don't. And here we go. And again, another side pick and roll. I think this time we have one of our guard X out. Here's a 4-guard situation. We got 4 guards in the game, and we always say the lowest guy goes. Bang. He releases out to the big. Okay, time it out. Force him into a bad pass. Okay. Here's the technique here. We do what we call wall ups, right? We even teach our guards how to wall up against anybody in the paint, anybody in the post. So here's that. Because of the dribble, we ask our guys to wall up and kind of walk into them. Okay? See that walk in? When you walk into them, you take away his pivot, and then force a pass off his back foot. All right, slip screens. How do we guard slip screens? We treat them the same as X outs. Okay. Come on, stop lagging here. All right, here's a slip screen there. Okay, we X out with our opposite big, and then we just contest. Okay, so we're not too worried about slip screens. Again, like I said before, teams try to beat us on this high-low stuff because we hard hedge side pick and roll. That's a hard hedge, so they throw it to the opposite big, and then we teach our guys to hold and then stunt. Hold, stunt. Okay, and the longer you can hold here, the more time you can buy for that opposite big to run back and get to attach to his guy. And then we keep our hands up. And then remember, we're in that pinch position again. Okay, anticipate. All right, multiple ball screens within a possession. Again, Cal Maritime, they run a lot of good stuff. I like showing their stuff. Okay, let's take a roll there. Our big switch there. Then we're a help defensive team, so it doesn't matter who we're guarding. We're always trying to get guys to the basketball. Right. Good recovery there. Okay. Hedge, X out, and got call for a travel. All right. Conversion defense, it's a fancy way to say transition. Our biggest thing is we want the other team to always play against a set defensive situation, okay? And our rule of thumb is pretty simple. When that ball leaves the rim, we always have 2 or 3 guys floating in the back. And these 2 or 3 guys, we usually designate who those 2 or 3 guys are. In this case, we get back, first 3 steps is a sprint, and then our goal is to build a wall so that they cannot get inside. And if this happens, we feel like we won the battle, right? So anytime we're in transition and we get back, if we can get into our half court defense and make them play half court basketball, we feel like we won that segment. And this situation is exactly what we did. Contest the shot again. Okay, got a peek there. Make sure we get his eyes is on his man. Face block out, and we get the basketball. Okay, here's another missed shot. One thing that we teach in transition too is get to the paint, right? And then stop the ball. Everybody load to the ball side, and then we match up accordingly. Okay. One thing we don't want our guys to do is when they run, is to cross court. Okay. So if I'm on the left side and that shot goes up, I'm staying on the left. I'm staying on the left wing running back. Because when the guys cross court trying to find their man, we get into a lot of trouble. So we say that sometimes in transition, you may not be guarding the guy that you're assigned to. Okay, but the idea is to sprint back, build a wall, make it 5-on-5. That's the idea. Is sprint back, build a wall, don't let the ball get in the paint. Okay, and then get into our half-court man-to-man defense. Against Bakersfield, same thing. Sprint back, first 3 steps of sprint, turn your hips. Okay, see the ball, and then crowd the court so that they cannot penetrate, and then get them to a set defense every single time. That's our goal in transition. Okay. Eliminate buddy running. Okay. So if a guy running on the sideline, we try to get to the gaps more than we try to get to the outside. So no buddy running in transition. Okay. Again, make them play against set half court defense, contest shots. Okay. UCR, same thing. Sprint back, turn your hips, find the ball, load to the ball side. Okay. Play the skip, get in the gaps. Okay, ready to contest. Again, half court defense. This is exactly what we want. This is how we want to play here. You guys know. All right. Turnover defense. Something that we started to work on a lot is when we turn the ball over, how do we defend? Because this happens a lot in games. Okay, we don't turn the ball a lot in games, but when we do, we have to know how to guard. So what we do is we teach our guys. We do a lot of one-on-one drills in transition. We tell our guys to keep the ball one side of the floor and don't open your hips. Those are the 2 things that we talk about in our one-on-one drills. Okay, don't open your hips, keep it square, and force as many passes you can, and allow your teammates to get back in time. Okay, turnover defense is something that we don't really talk about as much, I don't think, but for us, we spend a lot of time drilling it as well because it's part of our transition defense. Okay, we love scrambling. Okay, we scramble a lot in practice. Again, turnover. Okay, here we are. We turn it over. How do we guard? So the rule of thumb: if you're the guy closest to the basket, our basket, then you're the first guy in the hole. And then in turnover situations, you don't know what's going to happen. But the idea is to protect the basket. No layups. Okay, no open threes. Make them take hard 2s around outside the paint. If we can do that, we have won the battle in that turnover situation. But if we can make it 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, beautiful. Just like that. Okay. All right. A few good possessions here. Last thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of let it run it through. Again, Maritime run a lot of good things. Okay, jump and swipe there. Pick and roll defense. Okay, we go over top and under our screener. The guy going to screener. All right, right hedge there, soft hedge there. Okay, we close out high hands, contest, box out. Not bad. Okay, here we are against University of Benedictine. Okay, now hard hedge, side pick and roll. And plug the gaps. Yep. There you go. If you can pressure the ball, pressure the basketball. But again, keep the ball out of the lane. Okay, scramble. Yep. Everybody have vision on the basketball, and then the man they're guarding. Okay, we got split there. Okay, but again, overall pretty good possession. Except we got lazy there. Okay, here's our last clip here. Again, I think I showed this clip earlier. Screening action, chase, 3 on the ball. Okay, pack the paint, take away driving lanes. All right. Okay. Anyway, 12 is a non-shooter. So when you see our guy back up like that, it's based on our scouting report. Guys that can't shoot the basketball, we're not even going to guard them. We're just gonna stick to our principles and pack the paint, make it hard for other guys to penetrate. Contested shot. box out, eyes there, eyes here, yeah, and then we rebound the basketball. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much all I have, just to share with you guys. The biggest thing I think is just accountability and making sure that your guys are held accountable for those things. I'm a life learner of basketball, so if you ever have any questions about anything, I'm definitely more open to share stuff with you guys and learn from you guys as well. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Pham.
Yep.
Yeah, do we have any last questions? One last question by anyone? All right. Awesome. That's how good you did. You answered everything. So thank you so much. Loved everything you shared with us. Our second presenter was recently named the women's basketball head coach at Missouri S&T. Her name is Coach Kira Carter. After a successful college and pro career, Coach Carter spent 2 years at Wabash Valley College and helped the team to a regional championship and NJCAA Sweet 16 appearance. She was an assistant coach at Missouri S&T, then became an assistant at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where she helped the program reach the second round of the WNIT. And then prior to returning to Missouri S&T, she spent 2 years at Sam Houston State University in the great state of Texas. And then as an assistant, she helped lead the program to its most wins in a single season, as well as the conference ever in D1. And then like our previous speaker, she helped many of her players receive conference and national honors. So we're really lucky to have her. Coach Carter, please go ahead.
Hi, Kira Carter, obviously. First off, Kevin, thank you for sharing all the information. I was trying to write in the margins and everything on my notepad. I really took away all the details, and I like how you guys kind of teach things. So I appreciate you sharing all of that with us. And the film clips, that was a great.
I think we lost her, right? Or is it just me?
No, I think I lost her too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coaching job.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did I go
Coach
out?
Carter. Yeah. Your reception was bad.
Oops.
You got to put that in your contract.
This S&T Wi-Fi, man. Science and technology. We got to get this up. So I was saying, I don't know what we missed or not, but Kevin did a great job. I appreciate all of his details in the film clips. I had a ton of notes. And so I'm just going to talk about a little bit about kind of my journey on how I've come up on this opportunity. It's my first head coaching job, so we'll see how it goes from here. But just kind of the path I've taken so far. So playing wise, I started out at Oakland University in Michigan. And I played for a coach who ended up getting fired for psychological and mental abuse. So that was hard at the time going through that as a player. But looking back on it and as I was able to reflect on and grow from it, I learned a ton. And I think that's helped me to become, I think I'm a decent coach, but I think it's helped me especially in relating with players and understanding things that might not seem offensive to players, but how it can really impact them on how you talk to them and how you critique people. And there's certain ways to present things to players. So I think that experience helped me a lot going through it myself as a player and just talking to my teammates and how they felt about different things and so on and so forth. And we've even talked a lot now that we're all full adults and into our careers. A couple of us have stayed in touch and kind of reflected on different things. And been able to process them from a more mature mindset. So that's been actually good in my career. So from there, I went to Wabash Valley and played there for a year, kind of got my confidence back, got my swagger back, if you will, and then had a chance to get recruited again. I went to Coastal Carolina University, had a great experience there. We were okay as a team, as a basketball team, but just from an overall standpoint of being a student athlete, going to school near the beach, having a chance to develop as a person, as a player. It was really good. And then I had the opportunity to play overseas in Czech Republic. So that was really cool, of course. That was like a dream come true, just being able to play professional basketball, experience another culture. And it was a time where like you're kind of independent, like, you know, you're going to a different country, experiencing things for the first time in your life. My team only had one American, so that was a little bit different. But I did have some teammates who played basketball in America, so there was more English speaking than I thought at first, like when I heard about that. And so I was able to share some things, like we brought Thanksgiving over there to our team because, like, you know, our players who had played American college basketball, they like some of like the American traditions. So we were able to kind of like combine them a little bit, and I was able to learn a lot of their traditions. So that was awesome. Then I just played one season over there. So the next year in the summer, I was kind of I started applying for like some coaching jobs at smaller schools, like just to try to get my foot in the door, because I knew that was like what I wanted to do for like a long-term career. And I also had my agent kind of looking for teams and stuff like that. And so I was at Pee Wee Smith. I had made the decision that I'm just going to go with whatever opportunity comes first, whether it's a coaching job or playing job. And so it was a coaching job. It was at Thomas College, Division III in Maine. So really small school. But it was an opportunity for me to get my foot in the door, to get experience. And so I think the biggest thing about that year, it was like the hardest year ever for a coach and everything. It was a $3,000 stipend, and some of you guys may know on this call, and, you know, I'm not familiar with everyone's career path. And I know we all have different unique stories and different trying moments. But that was probably my biggest year of growth that year. So it was a $3,000 stipend. So I had to get a job to pay for my job for the job I really wanted. So I got a job from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. at a warehouse. I was like washing containers with my college degree. But it paid and the hours fit the rest of my schedule. So I did it. So my schedule for that year, I'd go to work. I'd come home, I'd sleep till 1 or 2 p.m. I'd get up, go to the school, get my own workout in, meet with our head coach, kind of get stuff ready for practice, you know, do that part of things. Then after practice, I was working on my master's degree online. So I'd do my homework or whatever for an hour or two before I went to work that night. And then just, can you guys still hear me? Saying my internet's a little unstable. Okay. So then I do that again. And so I did that for about 2 months. I couldn't do that longer than that because I was just like, anytime I sat down, I fell asleep. Like, my parents tried to come and visit me, and like we went to go on a hike or something. I was asleep in the car, like just all that stuff. But I had enough money to pay for rent for the rest of the season, and then luckily second semester I was able to find a substitute teaching job. So I was a little bit better with the schedule. I highly recommend it if anybody, I don't know, you know, everyone that's on this call, but if anyone needs to like split time with coaching and another job, I think substitute teaching is awesome. I think it goes well with what we do as teachers and coaches. And your schedule's a little bit flexible. As long as you pick up the phone and go in enough times, they'll keep calling you. But occasionally, if you need a day off, you could take a day off. So I think that was a year that was just like, it showed me how hard I could work. I thought that was a solid foundation for myself to get started in the coaching path. And then I had an opportunity, like Helen said, to coach at Wabash Valley for 2 years. And so another step in my career I really love is working the JUCO level. You know, I had a chance to connect with everybody, connect with high schoolers, connect with other JUCO people, connect with four-year schools, whether it's NAI, D2, D1, because trying to help my kids get on to the next level. And so through that, I was lucky to have some people who saw me as a younger coach from those levels that kind of wanted to befriend me and mentor me. So that helps me a lot just to connect well. And any small task I was given, like whether it's to get a transcript or to arrange a call time, like I would try to the best of my ability to make sure I could do it and do it in a timely manner. just to show that I was reliable and to show that I cared and I valued that person's time. So, and also to help my student athletes, because I had one kid who loved the recruiting process, give me the calls all the time, give me the mail, everything. I had one kid who had genuine anxiety and stress, who hated it, and like we had to set up certain calls on Sundays and stuff like that. So, in junior college, anyone of you guys who have worked at junior college or any level where you're kind of stretching beyond your means, you're the mom, you're the chauffeur, you're the not quite the doctor, but like you're a nurse. You're doing everything, and so you're like really connecting with these kids. And I think part of why I like to coach, part of my why I'm kind of going a little bit everywhere here, is to serve. And so that's what I really loved about that level. Like, you got to serve like on a deep level. So yeah, they don't know about that JUCO life. Like, people try to tell you like, everyone should work food service. They try to tell you like, in the scale of life, everyone should work food service. I think if you're a coach, you need to spend 1 or 2 years either in JUCO or anywhere where your resources are limited. It'll humble you. But it's also super rewarding, because I felt like that's a level where I had some of the greatest impacts on kids, so I appreciate that level a lot. And through that, with the networking and everything, I had an opportunity to meet the head coach I'm actually replacing right now, Alan Eads, here at Missouri S&T. So I was able to connect with him. There's an opportunity here for me to kind of move up in my career path. And so I came here, and what I learned about being here is kind of the structure of the NCAA, kind of the rules and stuff, because it's a lot, D2 and D1 are a lot different than D3, just because you have the scholarships. There's more funding and stuff like that. So just learning the structure of NCAA, learning the time management of that. So I think that's probably what I learned here the most. And then also what I'm having to refigure out now is how I manage my scholarships. I'm playing Moneyball now. So you don't have your full scholarships. How do I get this kid for this much money? How do I put together those financial packages? I know a lot of you guys know this. You're looking at the grades. You're looking at ACT scores. You're looking at those scholarship packages. How do I get these waivers? Diversity scholarships. What stuff do we qualify for? Women's in engineering, science. You want to do science, right? Because there's scholarship money for that. So I'm relearning that stuff after being at D1, where it's like you got full scholarships all the time. But having exposure to that, and this whole time, kind of getting even more familiar in the Midwest region as far as recruiting and stuff like that. So, and then the how I got Milwaukee job is kind of interesting. I was out recruiting in Indianapolis on a Sunday morning when people might be hungover or not coming out to the courts. You guys know how it is on a recruiting weekend. That Sunday morning can be rough to make it to those early games. And so I was sitting there watching a game, and I was just talking, whatever, just chatting a little bit, small talk to the coach next to me. It happened to be Kyle Recklitz, and her maiden name is Kyle Black. So I went to North Central High School in Indianapolis. That's where Eric Gordon played. That's where a lot of good basketball players played. So Kyle Black was like a legend at our high school. So I was like, she's like, my name's Kyle, and I'm from here. I was like, wait, you're Kyle Black, right? Like, because she's a little bit older than me, not too, she's not old or anything, but a little bit older than me. And she was a player that we'd hear her name coming up, like Kyle Black this, Kyle Black that. She's a good player. And I'm like, wait, you're her. So like, I had a little moment where I'm like, oh wow, like this is somebody I kind of looked up to. And so whatever, we're just having a conversation. And I had a coach tell me later, like, we've become friends since then, but at that time, he was like, man, I'm listening to Networking 101. And so I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just being myself, but at the same time being professional and aware of the fact that you could be interviewed at any time. Like, I mean, you guys could be interviewing me right now for I don't know what, like I'm presenting myself to you guys. And whether I'm making a positive impression or a negative impression, like that's going to be an impression that's left with you guys. And so I think that's something that's a lesson I've taken on. I know a lot of you guys know that. If you don't know that, I'd encourage you to consider that. Like, just be ready for random conversations. Know who you are, be confident in who you are, and, be comfortable, like, discussing your philosophies, whether it's about recruiting or maybe you're really good at social media. Maybe you're good at player relationships or player development. Whatever it is you feel you're good at, be comfortable talking about that. And don't be afraid to share your passion. And so that was in April. In June, she called me. She said, "Hey, I have an assistant opening. I'd really like to interview you." And it went from there. So it wasn't even relevant at that moment, but I had made a strong impression, and so I had an opportunity to go there. And so what I learned most there, it was my first Division I opportunity. And for being my first D1 opportunity, it's a hell of an opportunity because a lot of people are taking over programs when you get jobs. I was stepping into a program that had already been developed. The program had already been established for 5-6 years. I'm walking into a team that's expected to win 20 games. So I felt a little bit of pressure on that because it's my first time. I'm like, don't mess it up, you know? And so it was cool my mindset was just work hard, bring my energy. And that's what they told me I was there for, work hard, bring your energy, learn, all that stuff. And so that's what my goal was to do. And I got to learn a lot. I thought Kyle was really, really good at X's and O's. If you guys need some good X's and O's, I'll watch all the Horizon League, honestly. There's a lot of good coaches in the Horizon League. And I think those things can be compared to all levels. You got solid mid-major basketball right there. There's a lot of good coaches that have been there for a long time. And so the gamesmanship and the chess match of those games is awesome. So if you guys need to watch some good games, watch the Horizon League, go on Synergy if you're looking for some extra stuff. Her in-game adjustments are really good. Her drops are really good. So that's why I learned a lot there. And then also I thought she did a good job of managing a program. Very organized, spreadsheets for everything. I'm a spreadsheet person. Some people can go off the fly, but I've got notes here. I've got another book of my to-do list, my weekly things, my daily things. So that's just me. That's how I am. So then I had an opportunity at Sam Houston State. I had a couple mentors kind of link me up with that position. So now I'm going from this established program to a rebuild. And so because I had a couple mentors kind of link me up, it was a good opportunity for me. So I went and took that one. So in our first year, we took over a team that had won 4 games and we won 16 games. So that was the best turnaround in the country by first year staff. And that's Raven Justice right there. So Raven Justice, my head coach, I learned so much from her as far as she did a great job of holding people accountable with our culture and just everything we do. We run the dribble drive, but to do it in a way, Kevin, some of all his details that they run, she did a really good job of holding everyone accountable. And the way you hold people accountable or what I learned from her is through relationships. Because if I tell you guys to go do something right now, there might be 2 of you that I kind of have a relationship with where you might kind of listen to it. The other ones might be yeah, right. I don't even know you. Who are you telling me to do stuff? So if our players don't know that I care about them and want to relate to them and genuinely help them, they have no reason to listen to me and for me to hold them accountable. So that's the biggest thing. Player relationships and accountability is what I learned most from Raven. And she's just a good person, enjoyed working with her on a day-to-day basis. A lot of jokes in our office. And she's a grinder too, big on the office hours, big on working hard. But we had fun in there too. So, and then with that comes this opportunity right here at S&T. And so I had stayed in touch a little bit with the administrators here, not with anything in mind, but, I got along with them. So I checked in a little bit here and there. Alan Eads retired this year during the pandemic. And also during the pandemic, just as a side project, not with anything in mind, I was working on my portfolio, my coaching portfolio. So I can send kind of a screen, or I can send this in a screenshot if you guys want to take a screenshot. It's kind of my table of contents. And I had another mentor of mine, it's actually a coach at Syracuse, helped me out just kind of with the topics to do and cover. So I got cover letter, resume, basketball profile, coaching philosophy. I put in my X's and O's. I don't see that all the time, but I feel like I needed to put that as a first-time head coach, just to prove that I do have a plan for us. Recruiting philosophies, player development philosophies, like how I would prepare for a game, academic excellence, how I'd set up a staff, community team bonding, budget management, fundraising, my plan for stepping on campus. Those are some of the things. I'm not saying this is the blueprint or anything. This is ideas I had given to me. And I'm 1 for 1 so far. So for whatever that's worth, you know, everyone won't love it. So, but they liked it here. But so I was working on this. I can share parts of it. Can't share everything. But I'll see if I can email parts of it to Mike or Steve and see if that can be shared in an email. Would that be okay with everybody? Can we do that, Steve?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll work on that. So that was my pandemic project. I was doing a page or 2 a day just because I needed to do that for myself, to write my ideas down. I've been, you know, mentors said, write your stuff down. Okay, I will. No, I really will. So I did it, and then I use canva.com, also another resource I love to plug. It's free. If you struggle in the social media area or anything of being creative, like, I mean, you still have to be a little bit creative, but it is like pretty user friendly and everything. And you can just make some cooler projects. Like, it's easier to use than Photoshop. You can't do everything that Photoshop can do, but if you need professional documents, I make like recruit itineraries with that. I make newsletters. So canva.com, canva.com. It's free. You put your email in there. They don't bother you too much, but you can make a lot of professional resources, or even if you need to make invitations for something, I would be a big fan of that. So I was working on that. So basically, when the job was finally posted, it took a little bit of time for it to get posted. I was preparing though the whole time because I had a couple of conversations with administration. It sounded like I was probably going to get an interview. So I was preparing while the job wasn't even posted, and some people was kind of a little bit quiet. I was just preparing. I was like, I'm going to prepare. I talked to like people I can really trust. And every time I was talking to them, it was like kind of like a practice interview. I would just get excited about S&T basketball and be talking about it. And I was watching film on Synergy and stuff like that. And so during this time, this was something extra. I'm a fan of doing extra stuff. I made a minor success plan. Basically, it was a plan on how I'm going to get things turned around at S&T. And so for me, I didn't go through every single thing on this on my interview, but I had practiced it enough times. I put it on paper. I believed in it, and I was able to talk about this on my interview. I did give out these booklets on my interview too. But honestly, it just gave me confidence. And so like how we want them to go to the gym and practice and get reps up, it gave me reps to like prepare for that, because I've never had a head coaching interview in my life. You know, I've had a couple interviews, but you know, I don't know what works and doesn't work. I haven't talked to, you know, I've done a couple of the step up little like Zooms and stuff, but I haven't had experience on like what actually works or talk to administrators. So I just figured, I was like, I'm going to practice. I'm going to know my stuff. I'm going to be passionate and go from there. And so that worked. So that's kind of like how I got the job. Another topic, just to kind of get into, not too long, because I do want to open it for questions if you guys do have questions about anything, is my 30-day plan and kind of what I've been doing since I got the job. So my start date was August 1st, so it's been 12 days. But I knew I had the job like 2 weeks before that. They had named me. So even before I got on campus, I was talking with compliance and everything, and they allowed me to sign a player because I had one scholarship left. So I signed somebody that I had kind of been talking to before at Sam, and we had filled up our spots there. I knew she was still available, so it kind of worked out. And then the other biggest thing was just to start getting to know my players, you know, start talking to them, getting to know them. And I did make, so part of my portfolio I made, and this is actually why I have it in the office to like help myself remember all the things I need to do. This doesn't really all apply during a pandemic though. This is meet people across campus. They're not here right now. A budget. We're trying to get a budget right now. So, yeah, a lot of that stuff is tough. But I do keep it here though and see what I can control and control the controllables. I think that's been a big theme this year I've seen just through COVID and everything, control what we can control. So I do look at this and kind of see, okay, have I made progress towards this at all? Have I made progress towards that? I can't make progress yet. Is there a way I can adapt for our current situation? Things like that. So really what I've been doing is I have been getting to know my players. We've got weekly Zoom calls. I've been texting, calling them a lot just to try to initiate a relationship with them. I've been working on recruiting the 21 class a lot. So I got an unofficial visit tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. I've got a couple offers out, so I've been doing that. I got to order some gear today, so that was nice. So figuring out that purchase request procedure, and right now it's just like, it's fine, like what we absolutely need right now. So we just need like some workout t-shirts like for when they get here and then they can work out. We had a lot of training sessions, a lot of COVID talk. And I don't get too held up in all that stuff right now. Like I have my opinions, but it doesn't really matter because it's people, like as head coaches, we can have our opinions, but the league's going to make a decision. It's probably going to be NCAA. There's going to be people that are like 3 levels above us. So, and I don't have a voice in this league anyway, so I'm not going to go out here and say anything crazy. I'm new, I'm young. Our program hasn't won anything. I don't think, unless it's something that's like morally wrong or anything, I'm just going to kind of like see what's going on, try to take things in, and just be adaptable, like have a mentality like adaptability. So that's kind of my mentality right now, is just trying to keep my athletes positive and excited about what we have going on, trying to recruit. If our scholarships get backed up or something like that, I'll deal with that then, but right now I have to plan as with where we are today. So just taking things for the daily plan and going from there. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to since I've been here. Let me see real quick. Let me just check my notes real quick. Oh, I'll just say real quick, a little bit backtracking. The biggest thing throughout my whole journey is that I want to share with everybody, and maybe some of you guys know this, it's not anything earth-shattering, but everything's an opportunity. And I think if you can have like an opportunity mindset, or like growth mindset, opportunity mindset, I think you're going to do a lot better in your career and in life. Things are not going to go how you want them to go every single day. But if we can find a way to find an opportunity out of the situations we have, be it positive or negative, we're going to be happier, we're going to grow more, and we're going to be able to positively impact the people around us a little bit better. So I think those have been the biggest lessons so far I've learned through my journey. And hopefully I'm just starting my journey. Hopefully this is going to be something I can do long term. I'm about to start my 8th year of coaching, but hopefully it can go on from here, and hopefully I can do a good job as a head coach. So, but does anybody have questions or even advice? Like I know there's some head coaches on here or some coaches that are more veteran than myself. If anyone has any advice for me or any questions or comments for me, I'm definitely open to hear them.
Yeah, no, this is great. Thank you. So we do have a question from Steve. So I'll let Steve ask his, and then we have another question after that.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Thank you so much.
Hey.
Appreciate you. You did a great job. I know we kind of spurted on you and you just got the job and got a lot going on, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to all of us. My question is actually, how as a young coach, first-time head coach, staff-wise, what's the makeup of your staff? I know Division II, you are given maybe one full-time staff, maybe one GA or so, and even given the whole pandemic. But in an ideal, normal world, if you are able to hire, and I don't know your hiring situation right now with freezes and all this stuff, but if you are able to hire a full-time assistant GA and whatnot, what are you looking for, and how do you determine your makeup?
So in my first 30 days, I did not mention that because we are frozen right now. because ideally, like, we would have done that. So yeah, we are in a freeze right now, but of course I've been talking to people and have people in mind and all that stuff just for whenever hopefully I get to hire this year. If not, we're going to have to find a different solution in-house. But my mentality is I'm a first-time head coach and I'm a young head coach. So my thought is to get somebody that can help me in the areas I need help in. And right now I think I need help with kind of dividing up the scholarships and being able to recruit kids that are going to be partial kids or walk-ons. So to kind of help in that area. And I know fundraising is going to be a big part of how we're doing things here. And so, and then also, so doing those two things, but also being able to kind of take your other things like travel and all that stuff and be able to kind of run with those. And so I've had some people reach out to me with like great young coaches and that are like a couple years younger than myself, with like less experience than me. And that's been hard for me to, like, I know these people are going to be really great coach. Like, I know there's some people out here that are going to be great coaches and I want to work with them, but I know it's not in my best interest right now to try to mentor somebody else. I need somebody that can just jump in the fire with me and act with me, do. So right now, like, kind of a person I've been, like, just for example, a person I've been talking to has coached at this level before, in the Midwest before, like familiar recruiting, familiar with how scholarships are divided up, has a situation where, you know, because of family and stuff, they might have to stay a little bit. They have to stay in this area, might not be able to kind of jump to a next level, even if their abilities are allowing them to. So which that could be potentially be a good fit for me. And I'm not saying I'm not looking at like younger coaches, but I just know that I need them to be able to help me with fundraise, help me with this dividing up of scholarships. I need them to have, you know, good moral value. It's like, you know, they can have a different mindset than me, but I want the core of them to be like me. I want them to be a hard worker, have a positive attitude, and be loyal and be able to trust them with, you know, conversations we have. So that's been my mindset. I guess I don't know if it's right or wrong yet because I haven't had a chance to hire and to see how that pans out. But that's kind of my approach. If anyone has a different opinion on that, I would definitely love to hear it and be open to hearing other opinions because it's not too late right now.
Awesome. Thank you. And then we also have a question from Bharat. I'm going to let Bharat ask his question.
Okay.
Hey, Coach Carter, thanks for your time. I know you asked for advice, and I'm definitely not the right person to give you advice because I'm far stupider than you, and I just feel like I have done nothing with my life given the grind that you've done. So thanks for all of that. Hopefully that motivates me for my next workout or something. I'll go run through a wall. So my question to you is, like, wave a magic wand. We don't have COVID right now, and it's just a normal season, right? You talked about how building a relationship with players helps with accountability and everything, right? And then after you build that relationship, you can be like, hey, here's what you need to do, and they're more likely to listen to you. So what would your timeline be in terms of first 30 days, I got to build a relationship with these players. I need them to know who I am, text them, Zoom, whatever. Moving towards, okay, now it's time to institute the culture of my program, and I get to start telling them this is what it means to be a part of Missouri S&T. These are the values of our team, stuff like that. So, like, what would that normal timeline look like for you?
That's hard. I think with the August hire, I think I kind of have to do them hand in hand. Because, you know, right now my handbook for our team is being reviewed by our administrator. So as soon as I get it back, so they'll have our rules and expectations and start talking about culture and stuff. So far we've had like 4 weeks worth of Zoom calls. I haven't said anything about culture. I just want to get to know them right now, and I don't have the book handy for this to go through, and we can't even meet in person right now. So I feel like it's not ideal for me to say, hey, here's all these rules, here's all these expectations, and you're on a computer screen. So when we can get to campus and have a meeting, and I can hand them that book and we can kind of go through it together, that's when I'm going to do it. And even if it's not the optimal time as far as where I want our relationships to be, I think I just have to do it because we're here. That's what we're doing right now. now there might be, I can't say there's not grace in following the rules, because if I'm lenient on them early, they're not going to listen to or follow them. And I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, oh yeah, go do a suicide or go do this when you break the rules. Like, I'm big on, there's going to be 1 or 2 verbal warnings, and it's going to be a conversation of, hey, you were late today, you didn't communicate with me. You know, kind of what was going on in your mind with that. You know, why were you late, first off, but more importantly, like, why didn't you communicate that with me? Because, you know, if you have a conflict or something, more than likely I'm willing to work with you, but I can't work with you if we don't communicate. And try to have conversations with them as adults, like, you know, treat them like an adult, treat them as a pro, until they've shown me that they can't be treated that way. So, I mean, that's my mindset going into it. And I think part of it too should be good. I mean, we're at a school that, I mean, I don't think I have any dummies on my team. Not to call our players dummies in any capacity, but these kids they're very smart. You know, they're savvy. They catch on to things. I think all these kids are, even if your GPA doesn't reflect it, kids are very emotionally intelligent right now. And you can't treat them any kind of way. It doesn't fly, you know. They don't respect that. So I think that's going to be my approach, and try to do it hand in hand, and try to respect them, and ask that they respect me and respect our team. Because if you're late to a workout and you're not communicating it, you're not really offending me. I mean, yeah, I'm offended, but you've just disrespected everyone's time that's supposed to be at this workout. You've hindered the plans that we had in store because we depended on you being there. So you're not just upsetting me, like, you had maybe 3 or 4 other people in this workout that were depending on you showing up at this time, and now you've kind of rattled things up a little bit. So, and I know that's an ideal way. You know, there's going to be situations that pop up that aren't smooth like that, and there's going to be kids that, you know, don't want to listen or don't want to comply for whatever reason. And I'm just going to kind of have to figure those out, honestly. You know, I don't necessarily have a plan for them, but, you know, hopefully we can do the verbal stuff. And then I'm a person, I like to do like consequences that fit the person. You know, some people, if you tell me I have to get up at 5 a.m. and go run, like, I'll do it, but I'm not going to enjoy it. Some kids love that. Now, if you tell me like, oh, I can't practice or play in the game, I'm going to be butthurt, you know? So each person, you know, might have a different consequence based on what's going to be most effective with that individual. So.
Great answer to a great question. There's another question by David. So David, do you feel free to ask your question?
Coach, David Choi here from Seattle, Washington. I wanted to ask you about the nature of recruiting at a very high academic institution and maybe some of the challenges.
So right now, I think I'm getting a little bit lucky right now. I've got 2 young women that want to be engineers. So people think our school's only engineering. It's not, but everything does have a technological background. So even our business programs, there's a little bit tech background. So I'll put our business degree up against maybe even better than a lot of business degrees, because you've got that tech background, and you guys know the way of our world and where it's going. And anytime you can add technology to a degree, the most basic degree, you're going to have an advantage. Our communications degree, it's comm tech or tech comm. So it's like they're going to have an advantage over just, you know, a lot of schools are like communications. Oh, that's your easy one. That's what you put the kid who struggles in. And it is like that a little bit here, but it's like you're getting a stronger degree from Missouri S&T because of it. So part of it, I think, is a little bit luck. And I would say you want to do a good job networking with your AU coaches and other college coaches, so that when you have a kid that has engineering interests, or like they want to do biosciences or something that we're really strong here and really unique, they want to reach out to you. Because for here, and why I'm fixated on the engineering thing, are you trying to recruit? I'm not dead, Steve. We're D2, baby. So engineering here, you can get a women's in engineering scholarship, women's in science scholarships here. And then I have a young woman who's got a, what did she get? She got a 34 on her ACT. So she's getting a huge chunk of academic money. And she's from out of state, but I have a waiver for that. So like with that, I can offer her maybe a few $1,000s, and she's only gonna have to pay for like $5,000 or whatever, something like that, or might even be closer to a full depending on what other scholarships she can pile up. So some kids, actually I got lucky because 2 kids reached out to me right when I got this job. They're like, man, I want to be a minor, and they're not bad basketball players at all. So I think there could be kids, definitely going to be good culture kids because I've gotten to know them over the past couple of weeks. Going to be good academically, and I know they're going to work hard. So I do think they have more talent than just what I'm saying, but if nothing else, I've got that. And I think the way you find those kids is sometimes it's not always easy to find them. I think that's where we have to do a good job networking with our, colleagues, whether it's, still keep talking to D1 coaches that might run into someone that might not fit them, that could fit me, so they want to call me. Networking with AU coaches, high school coaches. I think networking has saved me a lot, It'll save you from doing some, I think it's working smarter. I think it's still work because you have to take time to develop relationships, and they have to be sincere, and you do favors for other people. It's not just taking all the time from people. So I definitely have to look at that. And when I do look at all these emails I get in. If you're coming to me with a 2.8 GPA and like a 19 ACT, and you can't hoop, like I probably can't take you. Just the reality of it, because I'm gonna have to use a full athletic scholarship on you. And I might not be putting you in the best situation to be successful. So, I mean, it can limit me a little bit, I think. But I think there's plenty of kids out there that can play basketball at a high level. Their academics are really good, and they want to do science. They want to do engineering. They might want to do that business program I'm talking about. Maybe they do want to do communications or something like that. So, I don't know. Some coaches here, even in this building, might kind of complain about that. But again, opportunity mindset. How can we make the best of this? How can we find them? And for women, I think women, they want to do that. And then on the men's side, there's a lot of men that want to be engineers. So I think there's plenty of opportunities out there. But I guess my long answer short would be networking would be helpful in that.
Does anyone else have any questions? If not, I'm gonna ask one. All right. So how did you feel ready, or how did you know? Was it I don't know, just that you're ready for a head coach job?
That's a great question. For me, and I'm not suggesting this way because maybe this is a scary way to be, maybe a timid way. I've been a person that grows into my goals. Some people set goals, and I'm afraid to verbalize things I'm afraid I might fail at. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's just who I am. So, I hadn't verbalized I want to be a head coach until this year, actually. Because I didn't want to put that expectation on myself. You know how it is if you tell somebody something, you write it in public, or even if I tell a friend, they want to hold you accountable for that. And that's a good thing about having friends and goals and things like that. But I've been a person that I grow into my goals. I want to feel that I can achieve them before I say it and set out to do it. And so I think throughout the course of this year and just personally developing, it was kind of a feeling, I guess, of I think it'd be cool to run my own team sometime. And I think I've learned a lot. I think I have the tools, and if nothing else, if I don't have all the tools, I got the work ethic, and I'm going to figure it out in me to do it. And so, yeah, for me, I had to grow into it, and if you're more ambitious than me in your goal setting, then kudos to you. I respect that a lot. People say if it doesn't scare you, you're not reaching high enough. And my mindset wasn't quite to that. I don't quite have that mindset. For better or worse, I don't. There's numeric goals and things I want to do here, but I'm not going to say them out loud yet. I'm going to work on our culture, and hopefully that'll take us to the numbers I want to achieve. So yeah, so that's just me though. I don't, I don't recommend it. I don't not recommend it. But that's how I knew.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions?
I'm gonna put my email in this chat down here.
Perfect.
Reaching out to me, and I'm more than happy to have individual conversations with people, but I think it would just be easier so I don't leave anybody out. Or still, the offer is open if you'd like to give me advice, or if you've heard me say anything you're like, this is stupid, like, feel free to share that with me as well. I'm open to that. So, but no, I appreciate everyone listening and taking an interest in my story. I just talked about myself for a while now, but I appreciate you guys finding interest in it and giving me the platform to kind of share about myself. I hope if you guys maybe picked up one or two things that might help you or motivate you or anything like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. I'll let you take the reins now.
Man, what a great week again, y'all. Thank you so much, Coach Carter, Coach Pham, y'all's time, and everyone out there listening and will be viewing on YouTube. I can't thank you guys enough, Mike and I. I know Mike's a little busy. He's on conference calls and doing other things, but we want to thank you guys for your time and those speakers in the past and even y'all. And I do want to make an announcement. Well, Garrett, too, thank you so much, Garrett, for everything you do. Helen, thank you for moderating. Appreciate for your time and what you're doing with us and your support in the ACA. One quick announcement. Next week, it's going to probably be our last week for Zoom for now, since everybody's starting to go back to school. And, we're going to try to figure out everybody's schedule, see what works best. We've been throwing out the ideas of the possibility of maybe having it once a month. I'm sorry. So we'll see. We're gonna play with it and just kind of maybe send out something, but we just don't know right now because of everybody just going back to work, I guess you want to say, paid work, I guess. But next week we do have two good speakers. Well, one for sure. The other person we're waiting to get confirmation. They have to get approval and check their schedule. That coach is with the G League. And so once that's confirmed, then it'll be on social media for that coach. But we do have Kristen Iwanaga. She's actually on this call right now, too. She's going to be speaking next week. And it's going to be another great week. Her, and then we'll try to get another speaker on. But like I said, we're going to wait for confirmation. But if y'all can, I mean, this is great. I'll put out my information, and Mike can too next week. If you guys ever have any questions or concerns or just have any ideas, feel free to let us know. And we're here for you guys. It's not for us. We're here for y'all. And I hope you guys are here for us as well too. And we want to help you guys to grow and learn. And this has been great. I mean, all summer long, just hearing everybody's story and their philosophies and their X's and O's and all that. I've definitely learned a lot. And so if you guys ever have any questions, reach out to us. Garrett has been doing a great job putting all this information on YouTube. If you guys want to go back and watch it, it's on our Asian Coaches YouTube. Just type in Asian Coaches Association on YouTube. You can find us, subscribe, and we'll do what we can to help you guys out. But I'm always available, y'all. This is always great. I love meeting y'all, new people. People from across the country. I've met some people from New Zealand, Singapore, whatnot, and it's awesome to see our family community worldwide. And I just hope that we can keep this up. So thank you guys again for the support. Kevin, awesome. Coach Carter, good luck. It's going to be a great first year for you. I know it. I hope COVID kind of helps you ease into it a little bit, So enjoy that area. Again, Helen, congrats. Thank you so much again for moderating. G, you're awesome, brother, and hope to see you on this Zoom call sometime soon. But on behalf of Mike and I, man, thank you so much. Coach, you got a question?
Yeah, Steve, this is Rick Vasquez. I'm out from California, and I just want to speak to Coach Carter real quickly. Hey, Coach, your honesty and your sincerity is refreshing, and I'm, probably 25, 30 years older than you are, and I've been around D1 programs, D2 programs, high school programs, And Coach Carter, you'll be fine. You just keep doing what you're doing. I have all the faith in you, and I don't know you from Adam, but I can just tell that your honesty is going to do much for you, and good luck, and appreciate the chat.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, man. That means a lot, you guys. I mean, and I'll say this, and I'll echo that, is that especially coaches like Coach Carter, first year there, and the support is huge. I think Mike talked about it last week or a week ago. It's just the support is huge. Just to hear that, I think it goes a long way. From even people she doesn't even know or we don't know. Just to see that and hear that, it means a lot. And thank you, Coach, for jumping on and giving her your support and that comment means a lot. I know it does for her, and I've known her for years now, and she's been awesome. And I've enjoyed seeing her profession, her career grow, and I think the sky's the limit, and this is only just the beginning of what she can do. And so thank you again. If anybody else have anything to say, feel free. If not, then G, thank you so much again for putting this on and helping us out. But thank you guys. And Coach Carter will get you guys the information. She'll send it to us and we'll send it to everybody else. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a great Wednesday.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Later.